Let's talk about attraction, not the kind that's based on the perfect shade of lipstick or the right dress, but the kind that makes people stop in their tracks and take notice. The kind that draws in the right person, not just any person. Because here's the truth. The secret to attracting quality men isn't about playing hard to get, waiting 3 hours to text back, or changing yourself to fit someone's ideal. The real secret, it's you, exactly as you are, but fully owning it. We have been conditioned to believe attraction is about strategy, but the most magnetic thing in the world is a woman who walks into a room and doesn't shrink. A woman who knows she is worthy of deep love, not because of how she looks, but because of how she feels in her own skin. Confidence isn't about being the loudest voice or the most charming person in the room. It's about self-trust. It's about knowing that who you are as is enough. And let's be honest, that's hard sometimes, because we've been taught to polish ourselves into perfection, to erase the rough edges, to make ourselves more acceptable. But true attraction isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about being so at home in yourself that others want to pull up a chair and stay a while. And here's where it gets even more real. Vulnerability. The willingness to be seen fully and unapologetically is what builds true connection. Quality men who are emotionally available, secure, and ready for real intimacy aren't looking for a highlight reel. They're looking for real. The kind of woman who isn't afraid to say, here I am, not perfect, but whole. Now, let's talk about boundaries because, oh, do they matter? The way you allow yourself to be treated is the way others will treat you. Quality men are drawn to women who respect themselves, who say no when something doesn't feel right, who don't settle just to avoid being alone. Boundaries aren't walls, they're invitations for the right people to step forward while keeping the wrong ones out. And finally, the most important truth of all, you attract what you believe you deserve. If you believe love requires you to shrink, to settle, to prove yourself, you will find yourself in relationships that demand exactly that. But if you believe you are worthy of respect, kindness, and deep, steady love, that's what you'll welcome in. So the real question isn't, how do I attract quality men? The real question is, how do I become so deeply rooted in my own worth that the only ones drawn to me are the ones who see it too? We've been sold a lie that says attraction is about having the perfect body, the right wardrobe, the flawless makeup. We've been told that if we just look a certain way, we'll magically draw in the love we desire. But here's the truth. Physical beauty might catch someone's eye, but it's energy that keeps them intrigued. It's energy that makes them lean in, that makes them feel something real. Think about it. We've all met someone who, by traditional beauty standards, is stunning, but for some reason, they don't hold our attention. They don't have that magnetic pull that makes them unforgettable. And on the flip side, we've met people who might not fit society's rigid mold of ideal beauty, yet they have an undeniable presence. They walk into a room and you feel them before you even see them. That's energy, that's attraction at its deepest level. Attraction isn't about how perfectly you style your hair or whether you have the latest trends in your closet. It's about how you show up in the world. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you light up when you talk about something you love, the way you make others feel when they're around you. People don't remember every detail of what you wore, but they remember how they felt in your presence. They remember if your energy was open, warm, and confident, or if it was guarded, uncertain, and small. Attraction is about stepping into a room and owning your space, not because you're trying to be noticed, but because you trust that you deserve to be there. And that kind of energy, it's magnetic. It's what draws in high-quality people. People who aren't just looking for surface level beauty, but for substance. It's what makes a man look at you and think, she's different. there's something about her. Your energy is a reflection of your inner world. If you believe you are enough, if you exude self-worth and self-love, that energy becomes your greatest attraction. But if you walk through life doubting yourself, seeking validation, playing small, people pick up on that too. Attraction starts from within. It starts with knowing that you are already whole, already valuable, already worthy, just as you are. So instead of focusing on changing your outer appearance to attract the right man, focus on elevating your energy. Step into your confidence. Own your worth. Walk through the world with the kind of presence that says, I know who I am and I am enough. Because that is the most attractive thing of all. There's something about a confident woman. You notice her before she even speaks. It's not because she's the loudest in the room or because she's demanding attention. It's because she carries herself like she belongs, like she trusts herself, like she doesn't need approval to feel valuable. That kind of confidence, it's magnetic. It draws people in, not because they're impressed by her perfection, but because they're captivated by her presence. It's the way she stands tall, the way she moves with ease, the way she speaks with certainty. Confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about self-assurance. It's knowing who you are, embracing it fully, and refusing to shrink for the comfort of others. But let's be real. Confidence isn't something we're just born with. It's built. It's strengthened through experience, through failure, through learning that you can survive the uncomfortable moments and still come out standing. Confidence is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So what does confidence actually look like? It looks like a woman who doesn't second guess her worth based on who is or isn't texting her back. A woman who can walk away from situations that don't align with her values because she trusts that she will be okay, even if it means being alone for a while. A woman who doesn't apologize for taking up space, physically, emotionally, or intellectually. And here's the kicker. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about embracing imperfection. The most attractive people aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who own them, who laugh at themselves, who understand that flaws don't make them unworthy, they make them human. Confidence is when you stop trying to prove you're enough and start believing that you already are. Now, let's talk about why confidence is such a powerful force in attraction. People are naturally drawn to those who exude self-trust because confidence creates a sense of safety. When a man sees a woman who knows who she is, who doesn't need external validation to feel complete, he feels an unspoken respect for her. Quality men, emotionally healthy, secure, mature men, are attracted to women who carry themselves with certainty. Why? Because confidence signals self-respect. And self-respect sets the standard for how others should treat you. But confidence isn't just about attracting others, it's about how you feel in your own skin. When you trust yourself, when you know your worth, when you stop seeking permission to be exactly who you are, you move through life with a different energy. You stop settling, you stop playing small, you stop waiting for someone to choose you because you've already chosen yourself. And that is the most magnetic thing in the world. For so long, we've been told that vulnerability is weakness, that to be strong, we have to have it all together. Never let them see us sweat. Never let them know we care too much. We've been taught to guard our hearts, to play it cool, to never be too emotional because that would make us seem desperate, needy, or worst of all, unlovable. But let's get something straight. Vulnerability is not weakness. In fact, it is the ultimate form of strength. It takes immense courage to be seen, to be real, to open your heart without guarantees. It takes confidence to say, this is who I am, this is what I feel, this is what I want. It's easy to build walls, to hide behind perfection, to pretend we don't care. But true strength, true power, that lies in the willingness to be authentic, even when it's uncomfortable. Now, when it comes to attracting quality men, vulnerability is the key to real connection. The kind of men who are emotionally available, secure, and looking for something deep are not interested in surface-level personas. They're drawn to women who are open, who are willing to share their truth, who aren't afraid to express what they need and how they feel. But let's be clear, vulnerability is not about oversharing or spilling your deepest traumas to someone who hasn't earned that level of intimacy. It's not about putting your entire emotional world in someone else's hands and hoping they handle it with care. Vulnerability is about intentional openness. It's about being honest with yourself first, so you can show up in relationships in a way that is both brave and boundaried. Think about the last time you felt truly connected to someone. Was it because they presented a perfect, polished version of themselves? Or was it because they let you see something real, something raw, something human? True intimacy isn't built on perfection. It's built on shared experiences, on honesty, on those moments where someone lets you into their world and says, "This is me," messy, beautiful, growing, but real. When you embrace vulnerability, you stop playing games. You stop waiting 3 hours to text back to seem cool. You stop pretending you don't care when you do. You stop settling for people who can't meet you at the level of emotional depth you desire. Instead, you start attracting those who respect your openness, who see your honesty as a gift, who meet you at the same level of authenticity. And yes, vulnerability comes with risk. There's always a chance that when you open up, someone won't meet you there. There's always a chance that they won't reciprocate your feelings or that they won't handle your heart with care. But here's the truth. If someone backs away because of your honesty, they were never meant to hold space for you in the first place. Being vulnerable isn't about guaranteeing love. It's about ensuring that the love you attract is real. It's about knowing that you don't have to hide or manipulate to be worthy of connection. It's about trusting that the right people, the ones who are emotionally available, the ones who want something real, will recognize your openness as strength, not weakness. So if you're looking to attract a quality man, don't be afraid to show up fully. Speak your truth. Say what you feel. Let yourself be seen. Because at the end of the day, the strongest, most magnetic women aren't the ones who never show emotion. They're the ones who own their emotions without shame. And that is a strength that will always be irresistible. Let's talk about boundaries. Not the kind that push people away, but the kind that invite the right people in. The kind that protect your peace, honor your worth, and set the standard for how you deserve to be treated. For too long, many of us have been told, either directly or indirectly, that setting boundaries is selfish. That being a good woman means being agreeable, flexible, always accommodating. That love is about sacrifice, even if that means sacrificing our own needs. But let me be clear, boundaries are not about pushing love away. They are about creating the conditions for healthy, lasting love to thrive. Think of boundaries like the walls of a beautiful home. They aren't there to keep everyone out. They're there to make sure that only those who respect the space are welcomed in. If you leave the doors wide open, anyone can walk in. People who don't respect the space, people who take without giving, people who drain the energy from the room. But when you set boundaries, you decide who gets access to your energy, your time, and your heart. And here's the truth, the way you allow yourself to be treated teaches others how to treat you. When you don't set boundaries, you unintentionally send the message that your needs are secondary, that your time is not valuable, that your emotions don't require respect. And people, whether consciously or unconsciously, will act accordingly. But when you have strong boundaries, you communicate, I respect myself and I expect the same from you. You show that you are not afraid to walk away from situations that don't align with your standards. And nothing is more attractive than a woman who respects herself enough to say, I don't entertain inconsistency. I don't chase people who don't prioritize me. I don't allow disrespect no matter how much I like someone. I don't tolerate breadcrumbs when I deserve the full meal. Now let's talk about how boundaries relate to attracting a quality man, because this is where it really matters. Emotionally healthy men who are secure, mature, and looking for real connection, are drawn to women who have clear standards. They admire women who communicate their needs with confidence, who don't accept less than they deserve, who walk away when something isn't right. These men don't see boundaries as difficult or demanding. They see them as signs of self-respect. On the flip side, emotionally unavailable men who thrive on control, mixed signals, and power plays are repelled by boundaries. They don't like being held accountable. They don't like being told no. And that's exactly why boundaries are so important, because they filter out the men who aren't capable of giving you the love and respect you deserve. So, how do you actually set boundaries in a way that is strong yet graceful? Know your worth. You can't set strong boundaries if you don't believe you deserve them. Remind yourself daily that your needs, time, and emotions are valuable. Communicate clearly and without apology. Boundaries are not ultimatums or punishments. They are simply clear statements of what you will and will not accept. I don't engage in relationships where I feel unappreciated. I don't stay in situations where I'm constantly second-guessing my value. I don't have compulsions. I don't stay in relationships where I feel unappreciated, and I don't stay in situations where I'm constantly second-guessing my value. Hold the line. Setting a boundary is one thing, but enforcing it is where the magic happens. If someone crosses a boundary, don't just say you won't tolerate it, show them. Walk away if necessary. Your actions will speak louder than any words. Don't feel guilty for protecting your energy. Loving yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, not resent them. Surround yourself with people who honor your standards. The right people won't test your boundaries, they'll respect them from the start. At the end of the day, boundaries are a love language to yourself and to others. They tell the world, I know my worth. I respect myself too much to settle. I choose love that is healthy, consistent, and real. And when you set that standard, the right man won't just respect your boundaries, he will admire them. Because a woman who respects herself will always attract a man who does the same. Let's get real for a second. The relationships we find ourselves in, the people we attract, the love we accept, none of it is random. It all stems from one fundamental truth. You attract what you believe you deserve. This isn't just some self-help mantra. It's a powerful force that plays out in every aspect of our lives. Your self-worth, whether high or low, is like a silent signal you send out into the world, and people, especially potential partners, pick up on that energy. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how certain people seem to effortlessly attract loving, respectful partners while others seem stuck in cycles of toxic or unfulfilling relationships? It's not luck. It's not because they're just better at dating. It's because deep down their beliefs about love and worthiness are shaping the kind of relationships they allow into their lives. If you really believe, that you are worthy of deep, fulfilling love, you won't entertain people who treat you like an option. You won't chase after emotionally unavailable men. You won't tolerate inconsistency, disrespect, or breadcrumbs of affection. Instead, you'll naturally attract and accept relationships that align with your self-worth. But if deep down you believe that love has to be earned, that you have to prove yourself, work harder, or settle for less just to be chosen, you'll keep finding yourself in situations where you have to beg for attention, overextend yourself, or accept less than what you truly deserve. Your subconscious beliefs shape your relationships. Here's where it gets even deeper. Many of our beliefs about love and worthiness are formed early in life through our upbringing, past relationships, and the messages we've absorbed about what we can or cannot have. If you grew up watching unhealthy relationships where love was conditional, inconsistent, or full of sacrifice, you might subconsciously believe that love always comes with pain, struggle, or compromise. If you've been in toxic relationships in the past, you might start believing that chaos is normal, that you have to fight to be loved, or that deep connection isn't meant for you. But here's the truth: your past does not define your future. Just because you've experienced unhealthy relationships before doesn't mean you're destined for more of the same. But you have to be willing to rewrite your beliefs about love and, most importantly, about yourself. Raising your standards starts from within. If you want to attract a quality man, someone who respects you, values you, and shows up fully for you, it starts with believing that you deserve exactly that. And not just believing it on the surface, but deep in your core. So how do you shift your mindset and start attracting better love and relationships? Resolve into paying attention to the stories you tell yourself about love and relationships. Do you catch yourself thinking, maybe I'm asking for too much, or I should just be grateful for what I get? Those thoughts are shaping your reality. Shift your mindset to, I am worthy of deep, fulfilling love, and I refuse to settle for anything less. Repeat it until you believe it. 2, don't entertain words of self-align with your worth. Every time you accept behavior that doesn't align with what you truly want, you reinforce the belief that it's all you can get. If someone is inconsistent, unkind, or emotionally unavailable, don't make excuses for them. Walk away. Your actions show the universe and yourself what you will and won't tolerate. 3, set standards and stick to them. Setting standards is easy. Sticking to them is the hard part. It's about choosing long-term happiness over short-term comfort. It's about saying no to what doesn't serve you, even when you're afraid of being alone. Remember, it's better to be alone than to be in the wrong relationship, because the right one can't come in if the wrong one is taking up space. 4, surround yourself with proof of what's possible. If you've only ever known unhealthy relationships, it can be hard to believe that something better is out there. But healthy, beautiful love does exist. Seek out examples, whether it's friends, family, or even books and podcasts that show you what real love looks like. Normalize the idea that healthy, fulfilling relationships aren't just for other people. They're for you too. 5, embody the love you want to attract. If you want to attract a man who is kind, respectful, emotionally available, and committed, be that for yourself first. Treat yourself with the same level of love and care that you desire from a partner. When you embody that energy, you naturally attract people who match it. Final truth: love is a mirror. At the end of the day, the relationships we attract are mirrors of how we feel about ourselves. If you want a high-quality love, you have to become the version of yourself that expects and attracts high-quality love. So take a moment and ask yourself, What do I truly believe I deserve? If the answer isn't what you want it to be, it's time to start shifting that belief. Because the moment you truly believe in your worth, everything around you will start to reflect it. And that's when the right man will see you, not because you had to chase him, change yourself, or work for his love, but because your energy, your confidence, and your self-worth made it impossible for him to look away. At the heart of it all, whether it's attraction, confidence, vulnerability, boundaries, or self-worth, the key to attracting a quality man isn't about playing games, following dating rules, or changing who you are. It's about becoming the version of yourself who naturally draws in the kind of love you desire. A woman who understands that attraction isn't just about looks, but about energy, about the way she carries herself, the way she walks into a room, already knowing she belongs. A woman who embraces confidence, not because she's perfect, but because she trusts herself, values herself, and refuses to settle for anything less than she deserves. A woman who recognizes that vulnerability is not weakness, but the foundation of deep, meaningful connection. Someone who is unafraid to show up authentically because she knows that true love can only exist when we let ourselves be truly seen. A woman who sets boundaries not as a defense mechanism, but as a declaration of self-respect. A woman who doesn't bend or shrink to fit someone else's expectations, but instead stands firm in her standards, knowing that the right man will rise to meet them. And above all, a woman who believes deep in her bones that she is worthy of real, healthy, and lasting love. Because the love you attract is a direct reflection of what you believe you deserve. So if you take away one thing from this, let it be this: you are the standard. The way you treat yourself sets the tone for how others will treat you. The energy you put out is the energy you will receive. And the moment you fully step into your worth, the right person will not only see you, but will be honored to stand beside you. Because a quality man doesn't complete you, he complements you. He doesn't define your worth. He reflects the worth you've already claimed for yourself. And when you live in that truth, when you own your power, when you refuse to settle, love won't be something you chase, it will be something that finds you.